All right, we're going to get this podcast started. We fixed it. So this is where we fix recipes. We talk about snacks and meals and food categories and all kind of stuff. We'll get my PowerPoint up here. All right, let's do it. We got our We Fixed It class on it. Oh, the first one up by Larson. Is that Cindy Larson? Cindy Larson instead of Larson. I believe it's Cindy Larson. We have got orange chicken. Boy, this one's come up a lot. She really stirred a pot with this one. People's wanting their orange chicken. There was already some good recipes. Let's take a look and see what makes this one work. We've got Tyson air fryer tenders. Can somebody do me a favor and see if Tyson air fryer tenders is in the library? If somebody will check that for me. We've got 1 cup of rice cauliflower. We've got Hughes barbecue sauce, Smucker's sugar-free marmalade. It's only a tablespoon of Hughes. This is 1 serving, by the way. Swerve brown sugar, low sodium soy sauce, and green onions. So somebody's checking to see if Tyson air fryer tenders is in the library. It scares me because they're breaded. But we can make it work if the nutritional profile was right. Rice cauliflower is great. Using rice cauliflower or miracle rice here. You do not want to use real rice here. 1/2. Now, what you could do is take grilled chicken tenders, long grain brown rice, and add like broccoli, and you would have a 1, 2, 3. Does everybody see that? Let me pause there. Does that make sense? So like if I wanted a category 3 with this dish, I would be able to have long grain brown rice or quinoa, which are category 3, with grilled chicken tenders. The sauce is going to be okay, but it's the breading that will disallow a category 3. Does that make sense, everyone? So let's go to the library and see if we've got those Tyson chicken tenders. I just love this stuff. I must have a lady inside of me. I love it. All right. So here we go. Go to our food library. A friend of mine, he said, how do you do that every day? Talk about recipes and food and weight loss. He said, good gracious, don't you ever just want to get out and work on a tractor or cut the grass? I said, no, I like doing nutrition. So Tyson, yep, okay, we got it. Tyson air fried chicken breast. Look at this. I didn't even know this was in here, you rascals. Look at this, air fried. And it says it's a category 4 and up to 3 ounces as a category 4. So I can have this. That looks pretty darn good. Look at the weight loss meter. Is that good? Is a -1 good for weight loss? It's really good. Any negative number is good for weight loss. The more negative the number, the better it is for weight loss. In fact, I'm going to add this to my grocery list. That sounds something like a guy living at home that needs something quick and easy to do. That looks about right. I like it. Let me get my Kroger. What? I'm in somebody else's account, aren't I? I am. Lord, Sandy, I was still in your account. What did I mess up?
Travis, you're going to have Sandy having all kinds of crazy things happening this weekend.
I know it, right? Oh, gosh, I messed that up. She don't have a grocery list, so see what we discovered? Sandy, you're not using the grocery list properly. Is the morning prayers helping that we're putting in there every day in your journal?
Absolutely. 100%.
Good deal. All right, so negative weight loss meter, I'm adding that to my Kroger list so that I don't forget it. I didn't even know that was in there. Okay, so category 4, up to 3 ounces. But I have a question. This is conceptual stuff. Why would I call these a category 4? Because it looks like they're low fat. There's only 4 grams of fat. Why would I call it a category 4?
Because of the fat and the breading.
This is Joy, this is often confuse people when I do this. We equate category 4 to fat, right? But these are low fat. Sometimes when we're categorizing something to show people how to eat it, even if there's no fat, I will label it in a way that forces us to eat it with the right things. So it's not always about the fat. So by labeling it a category 4, you know that you can't add an additional carbohydrate to it. You can't add a 3, you can't add a 5 because we've labeled it a 4. This is also why you can't have long grain brown rice with it, can't have quinoa with it, because it's already got starch in it. Does that make sense? It's got 13 grams of starch. If I go over 20, 30 grams of starch, it's fat bus city. Make sense? Okay, so we've got these Tyson air tenders. We're using rice cauliflower, garlic juice, Hughes barbecue sauce, 1 tablespoon only, so we're good. Sugar-free marmalade, Swerve brown sugar. I'd probably play with some monk fruit here, but you probably won't get the same coloring. Swerve brown sugar isn't as good as monk fruit, so I might experiment there. It's going to have the orangey sauce because of the marmalade. The teaspoon of low sodium soy sauce or Bragg's liquid aminos. Bragg's liquid aminos, a little better for weight loss, but this one works too. And you've got green onion. This is a perfect recipe now. This is perfect. We control our portion, have it over rice cauliflower, outstanding. Make sure there's nothing funky going on in the instructions. And there is not. You could change out the barbecue sauce for any approved barbecue sauce. Looks great. This would be a good like -1 recipe. Good for weight loss. Any questions about that? Any comments? Talk to me, children. Children of the Most High.
Could you use gluten-free tamari instead of the Bragg's?
I'm not too familiar with that. It's almost 0 calories, right?
I haven't got a fresh bottle of it. It was used as a replacement for soy sauce
It'll be fine.
without the salt.
Yeah, it would be fine. Anytime when we're looking at swaps like that. So Worcestershire, soy sauce, Bragg's liquid aminos, any of that stuff, if it's close to 0 calorie, it's not going to impact our weight loss at all. Kim asked, if you change the chicken to a grilled chicken without breading, would it be better on the weight loss meter? Yes, it would go to a -2 if you used rice cauliflower or miracle rice. If you use quinoa or long grain brown rice, it's a 0. Does that make sense, everybody? Master Shibboleth Chef Will Plunkett says Bragg's coconut sauce would be better. That would work too. Any other good suggestions? We need to find a kitchen that's worthy of studio stuff. Not studio, but need to pick about 5 of us, and we all bring our favorite dish, and we show each other how to do it on camera. That would be fun, get together, don't y'all think? Somebody volunteer their kitchen. I'll bring my recipe, you bring your, and we just cook for 3 or 4 hours and share with the community and fellowship. And then
Penny
taste
doesn't
test.
live that far from you.
Who?
Penny.
Penny, that's right. Penny.
Yeah.
We're volunteering you, Penny.
There you go. She'll love me for it.
That'd go viral. Me and Penny cutting up about the Lord and eating orange chicken. I'd be on it. All right, that's a good one. We did good with that one. That was a good one. Thank you so much, Cindy. All right. Black bean chopped salad. Y'all are killing me with these fresh looking vegetable salads. I love them. Oh, and none other than Penny. None other than Penny Bentley. Look at that picture. The next cookbook has to have photos by Penny. All right, ingredients. 1 14.5-ounce can of black beans. What category is that, everybody?
X.
Category 6. Tomatoes is a 3 or a condiment. Cucumbers is a 2. Yellow bell pepper, red onion. So you got category 2's red onion, a condiment, or a 3. This is going to serve multiple people, so I'm not worried about 1 red onion. 1 large avocado. Does anybody know about how many calories 1 avocado has in it? Without looking?
6.
350 to 400 calories.
Ooh.
And yeah, and it's a category 6 superfood, but because we're dividing that up by 4, the mental math here is it's about 100 calories of fat that we're adding. So I got to be cognizant of that. 1 or 2 jalapenos, category 2. Still got some more ingredients here for the dressing. All right, so let's start here because we got to break this one down. Everything I see here works. I see no problem so far. Do y'all? I see no issue with this so far. I've got a 6. No fat there. I've got some avocado fat, but I've got slow blood sugar elevation. I'm doing good. This is a good, so far we're good. Let's look at the dressing. Olive oil. Do I have a problem? She's correctly marked it. Yeah, she's correctly marked it MCT oil. If we're in our natural habitat, making it ourselves and not at a restaurant, there's no reason to use olive oil. Just let's move to MCT. MCTs, as they continue to study them, have almost no propensity to wind up on the body as fat. They're used as an energy source so rapidly, they almost can't be stored as fat. Lime juice, garlic, raw honey. Is there another option, or is this so little it's a non-issue? It's so little, it's a non-issue. It's 1 tablespoon, and this is 4 servings, so I'm not worried about it. You could do better by adding imitation honey, but you got so much fiber in here. 1/4 of a tablespoon, less than a teaspoon per serving, is not going to hurt us. Dried oregano, cumin, chili powder. This recipe's already perfect. The only thing I see we need to do is switch out for the MCT. And now you've got a beautiful side item. I would call this a category 6. Lisa, Geraldine, this would be a category 6. 1.5 cups of it would be a meal. Or a side item, you could do 1/2 cup up to 3/4 of a cup with any category 1, 7, or 4. Does that make sense? You could even do this with steak. Does that make sense? And you would call it, if you add a 4, you would call this a perfect pairing. Make sense, everyone? Any thoughts about this? Hey, Beth, good to have you back. Anything y'all see here that you have questions about, some alterations? Sure is pretty. This is the kind of thing, Penny, I would eat, a vegan meal, really. And I would eat it for like lunch as a meal itself. I used to couldn't have done that, but I probably would now.
What would the weight loss meter say?
I would say this is a good solid -1.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. It's not too carby, and the carbs in it are surrounded by loads of fiber. Good job, Penny. Such a blessing to our community. Okay, now we got Frida. Frida, cottage cheese flatbread. I've been wondering about this. This has went viral. Did y'all know? This one has went viral. Frida, good one. Let's take a look. I'll be trying this one. A cup of cottage cheese, 2 eggs, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, teaspoon of pepper. Okay. As it is already perfect. I don't know why you leave, Beth. You're listening to all that social media stuff, that artificial intelligence stuff, but we're just glad you're back. We're glad you're back. I'm messing with you. So cottage cheese, 2 eggs, teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Italian. Okay, so this is already going to work as what category? Four.
4.
So I have to eat it as a 4. It's going to be high calorie. So you've got, it's not too bad, but you're approaching 400 calories for a flatbread. We don't want to just eat it by itself. We're going to want to eat it as a wrap or with something. You can address this easily. You can cut these calories in half. So Lisa, I know this one's going to be a little weird, but the cottage cheese, we want to go low fat or fat-free cottage cheese, then it's a category 1. We want to go 4 egg whites or 1 whole egg and 2 egg whites. And now you've turned this into a category 1. Does everybody see what we did there?
So even if you leave the whole egg in?
I think so, because the low-fat cottage cheese is the protein percentage just went way up. So you got low-fat cottage cheese, the protein percentage, the egg whites, the protein percentage, and we reduce the fat, and there's not that much fat in 1 yolk. So from a percentage standpoint, like when we're looking at processed meat, we can allow for up to 20% of the calories to be from fat. For a category 1, that's kind of what I'm doing here. It would be better to count it as a 4 for sure, or just use egg whites. But I think that you'll be fine with 1 egg and 2 egg whites, because the percentage of protein the ratio went way above the fat at that point. So I still think that it would be better to go egg whites, but I don't know how it will turn out without the fat. You may have to play with that in a little MCT and see how it turns out. That's probably if I was at home and I didn't mind, because it's an experiment and you may waste the ingredients, but I would probably go fat-free cottage cheese, 4 egg whites, a tablespoon of MCT, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and half a teaspoon of pepper, and just see how it turned out. And if I liked it, I've got it. That's good. If I didn't like that, I'd come back and try the low-fat cottage cheese or the fat-free, 1 whole egg, 2 egg whites, so forth. I'd play with it some. Make sense? Nothing funky going on in the instructions. This looks really good. So we could take our boar's head ham, right? Turkey, stuff in there, tomato, lettuce, delicious. So much better for you than bread. Even our approved breads, they just make you dead slower. Bread make you dead. Approved breads make you dead slower.
Hey Travis, did you see my question?
I did.
I was asking if we did it like the original recipe with the eggs and the full fat cottage cheese, could we use that on a line day?
You could. I would. That's a good. Boy, y'all are getting smart. I would call that like a tier 2. Like when we're doing line days, part of that is about food elimination and eating just meat. But if you use full fat cottage cheese, you could give it a try. You might pick up some inflammation though. I'm not sure. I don't think I would. It would definitely be Tiger though. And y'all, I wouldn't mind having that with the way it is. It's going to be more delicious. I heard somebody say cheese. Did y'all say cheese? I could see me just eating this with some cheese, like a grilled cheese. I could just turn this into a grilled cheese. What about y'all? That would be delish. Put me some good Sargento. It tastes like full fat cheese or some of that Lifewise cheese. Make me a grilled cheese. That looks and sounds good. Great job. Who did that one again? Frida. Great job, Frida. Balsamic peach pork chops. Which flatbread would be acceptable? Kim, are you talking about the recipe or like you need an alternative to this? So this is like a cottage cheese mock flatbread. Yeah, this recipe will go in the library. If you're looking for a processed product, look no further than Joseph's high fiber flatbreads. Joseph's is awesome, but you could make this one at home. Joseph's high fiber is a really healthy bread alternative. It is bread, but it's healthy. Joseph's high fiber, if you don't want to make it, this is a good option if you want to make it. Balsamic peach pork chops with blue cheese. By the way, did we make it clear that if we make the alterations, it's a category 1? If we don't make any alterations, it's a category 4? Did we make that clear? I don't remember. So by going to a category 1, we're reducing the calories in half. That means more calories that's coming out of our love handles and our butt and our thighs and our back. Does that make sense? Every calorie that you eliminate while you're in EFB is coming from your fat stores. It all adds up and adds up fast. Balsamic peach pork chops with blue cheese. This sounds good. This is Deborah. Leave it to Deborah to make me want to lick the screen right now. Pork chops are category 4, vinegars free, apricot preserves or honey to only 2 tablespoons, and this is going to serve 4. Dijon mustard, spices, seasonings are all fine. 2 large peaches, a 1/4 cup of blue cheese. This scares me. So here's why it scares me. We got the honey. We got the peaches, high glycemic, medium glycemic, and we got real blue cheese. We got to do some fixing here. Don't y'all agree? Let's see how the peaches are being used. Add the peach slices and cook until they're just tender. So this is going to be a part of a sauce, correct? No, they're in the picture, so they got the sauce on them. This scares me. We can't do this. So we've got the category 4 pork chops and we've got peaches. Do y'all see a problem with that?
How are you gonna fix that, Travis?
I'm gonna let y'all fix it. No, I think
Change it to a category 1 meat.
I think we can fix it. Who said that?
I did, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky, good job. Could we move to pork tenderloin? What I'm looking for here is the flavor, right? So a few ways to do this. If we want the pork chops, here's what we got to do if we want to leave it with pork chops, everybody. We've got to have the sugar-free apricot, like Walden Farms calorie-free preserves. They have apricot. Or you could use imitation honey. You're going to have to eliminate the peaches. The peaches have to go. Then we gotta go fat-free feta or reduced fat feta. Did that make sense to everybody? We're going to do it another way too. Did everybody get why we needed to do it the way we did it? Dr. Murphy, did you get why we did it the way we did it?
Yeah, I'm wondering what you're gonna do about trying to get the sweet flavor with the meat and the no fat of the blue cheese.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be sweet enough if we use Walden Farms calorie-free apricot preserves or imitation honey. That's gonna give us the sweetness that the recipe's calling for, but we're gonna have to ditch the peaches. And we gotta go with fat-free or reduced fat feta. If we want to keep our peaches, we've got to move to pork tenderloin. We still have to have the calorie-free apricot or sugar-free apricot preserves. Then we could leave our peaches. If we go with fat-free feta, we could leave the peaches, but we have to add a category 2. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah, Travis.
We had to have 2 different recipes depending on what your real craving was for. Was it for the pork chops or was it for the peaches? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, Travis, when I was looking at that and shared it, I was thinking I would ditch the peaches anyway, because I'm not that big of a fan of peaches. So I just was looking more at the balsamic and the blue cheese. So my question is, and I had already thought about the sugar-free on the apricot preserves, but I think they make a reduced fat blue cheese. Would you still steer away from that?
Nah, I would do reduced fat blue cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's only a quarter a cup for 4 servings. So it's a quarter of a cup. So an eighth of a cup is negligible.
Yeah, I think I've seen reduced fat blue cheese crumbles before, but
Yeah. So basically, we
Travis,
just did 2 recipes.
Travis, what do you mean by the category 2 that has to go in here?
So when I look at this, I've got protein plus fat. If I want to have so I went to pork tenderloin.
Right.
So I got rid of that fat. That's a category 1 now. But I've got the peaches, which are a category 5. And the only way I can have a 5 is to have a 1 and a 2. So there's
okay,
no.
so we ditched the peaches for the apricot, then we're not having to have the category 2.
Correct.
Okay,
Then,
but what would you have done for that category 2?
broccoli. I'd probably have a side of broccoli with it, or a side of green beans, or cauliflower, or any category 2 salad. So,
okay, so just a side, but not putting it in that dish. It
right.
would just be like a side. Okay.
Yeah. So like on my portion plate, think of it this way. So if I'm having the peaches, because that's kind of the thing that mentally I'm after. So I've got my pork tenderloin, my peaches, my sauce. It's all looking beautiful. I put that on the side of my plate. One hand covers it. On the other side, I'm having some squash or broccoli. That's a beautiful meal. That the fiber has tremendous fat bus stopping impact. One of the things that I could do though is I could take fiber-wise flour. I could take this flour and then that would allow me a little more portion of this. I could take the flour and mix in with my sauce, and 1 scoop of the fiber. One scoop is going to give me 8 grams of fat bus stopping fiber. I would actually get more fiber from this than I would the green beans. So I can mix this in with the sauce and it probably wouldn't even be noticeable. And that would stop the fat bus. Does that make sense?
That's a great idea to use the fiber wise in there.
Yeah.
That would thicken up the sauce. Is that apricot from Walden Farms, is it bulky enough to kind of mimic this little bit of fruit in this peach?
I think so.
Awesome. Awesome.
I do.
That's why I was thinking about eliminating the peaches altogether, because you'd have the flavor from the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The summary here is pork chops can't be with the peaches. And of course, with apricot preserves or honey is that's just sugar. It's not a lot, but I don't even want to play with it. So I'm going to swap that out. And then really it's just the pork chops can't be with the peaches. Do I want the pork chops or the peaches? So if I want the peaches, which I might, then I'm just going to turn that into, I'm just going to swap that for pork tenderloin. Good stuff. And that one is it today. Wow. Good job, everybody. Good job. Any questions, comments about any of the stuff that we discussed? Was it helpful? Connie had fun. Good deal. Anybody else? Any questions, comments? And it can be off of the beaten path today. Whatever you need, this is my way of trying to support you.
This class is always helpful because it makes us think. It makes us think how we can make our everyday life work, and not just following a plan. How we fix things ourselves.
Yes. And I will bet you that as y'all continue to come to these, that even when you're in a restaurant, you have some aha moments. You'll have aha moments like, aha, I know that won't work together. Did you talk about BLT sandwiches? I didn't. We can though. Y'all want to talk about BLTs? How would we have a BLT? I love BLTs. Let's do this for fun. Could I have taken that cottage cheese flatbread with the low fat or fat-free cottage cheese and had turkey bacon, lettuce, and tomato? Heck yeah, you sure could. Okay, what about a regular BLT? Could I have Lewis's Healthy Life bread, approved turkey bacon, tomato, approved mayo, and lettuce? Yep, any category 2 bread. Could we have avocado on it? Okay, so 1 avocado, close to 400 calories. So let's break that down from a portion standpoint. So do y'all remember what the sweet, I'm gonna come back to these comments. Thank y'all. do y'all remember what the sweet spot is for meal episode calories? There's a sweet spot for your meals. Perfect, man. 300 to 350 calories for meal episodes. So the avocado, are you wanting a slice of it? So if we want to slice a little bit, let's count that as 100 calories. Here's a good way. Avocado is mostly fat, right? Everybody aware of that? Avocado is mostly good fats. Whether it be full fat cheese, avocado, and I love avocado. This much. Y'all see my thumb? If it's full fat cheese or avocado, that's 100 calories. Did y'all know that? If it's as big as my thumb, it's 100 calories. So I can have that much. Now we're at 100 calories. Let's do the math. We don't have to be perfect on the math, just trying to show you. So we have a BLT. So healthy life bread, 2 slices is 70 calories. We're going to count it as 80. There's always something sneaky in there. You've got turkey bacon. A serving of that is 35 calories. We're going to call it 50. You've got your lettuce, 5 calories. It's nothing. You've got your tomato, let's say 20 calories for a slice of tomato. So you've got 130, 135. We're going to count this as 160 calories. You're adding the avocado, a slice, no more than a slice. You're at 260. That's a perfect little sandwich. Leaves room for you to add like double bites or Quest chips. Does that make sense, everybody? Good deal. Kim says, my sister-in-law is making her own bread from bread breakers in Woodstock, grinding her own grains. Is there any way we can do this too? Absolutely. All I need is the ingredients, and I can spit you out a great shibboleth approved recipe. It doesn't take long at all if I have the ingredients. If you're truly using whole grains and you're not using processed flour, then 100-calorie serving of any of your homemade breads is going to be a category 3. It's almost impossible to make a delicious category 2 bread at home. You can do it, but you have to really experiment with these fibers. Everybody got that? If you're truly using whole grain to make that bread, 100% not made with wheat, but 100% whole grain, whole wheat, you can do a good category 3 bread at home. Usually one slice of homemade bread that's whole grain that will fit under the hand, no thicker than the thickest part of the hand, is going to be about 100, 120 calories. If I call her and set up a class for this for Faithfully Fit or Shibby, would people be interested? I'm sure they would. We get a lot of bread eaters. Nowadays, with all of the tools that I have, assuming that I find enough partners to keep it going, like every time I go to the technology, it costs. So I can take ingredients, plug in all of my shibboleth formulas, and it spits out the perfect recipe. It has to know my formulas, and it has to know what the ingredients are, and it says, here's how you do it. I love it. But every time I go to it, it charges my credit card. So we got to get partners. Sounds like a fun class. Anybody else? By the way, if you have classes you would like to see, we've talked about cooking classes, now a bread class. Let it be known so we can put it on the list. There's nothing that I can't teach on. The only thing that I don't enjoy teaching on is veganism. Everybody says they want it, and then nobody comes to that class. No offense meant towards the vegan population. Anybody else got anything before we go today? Is Penny still here? She is. So quick question. We're about to do the 21-day self-mastery challenge. It starts, is it June the 10th, Penny? 21-day self-mastery is to lose up to 21 pounds in only 21 days with only 21 foods. I think Penny's got some interest. People's interested in doing that one. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes,
So-
June 10th through the month end. That would be exactly 21 days.
Or-
There was a lot of interest. I think we had like over, I don't know, I'm thinking like over 60 to 70 comments on that post.
All
So
right.
that's a lot of interest. So I'm really hoping that people will participate as a group. I've done it by myself, but I would love to do it with our wonderful group and family.
Absolutely. So we'll put a big push on that. I was going to do the orientation at noon, but then better judgment because there's so many interested. What if we do that? What would be a good night next week to do the orientation so we get more people there? Are you thinking Monday at 7 p.m. or Tuesday at 8 p.m.?
I would say maybe there's probably a lot of people who have children playing like travel type ball that
Mhm.
couldn't attend the lives. I know most of the time those ball teams do their practices on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So maybe Monday at 7 would be
Okay.
good. I know there's also, I'm gonna throw this little plug in here if you don't mind. There's also a group of us, a small group right now, only about 6 or 7, that's gonna start a Shibby reading reflection group. We're doing a faith-based book called Forgiving What You Can't Forget. Cheryl is kind of heading that up for us. That's going to be starting Monday night at 8 p.m. and that's in a private group on Facebook. And anyone can join that's part of the Shibby family. And we're just going to come together at 8 p.m. on Monday nights via Zoom. And we're just going to take a chapter or 2 a week. We're going to talk about it, reflect on it, pray for one another. And it's just a bunch of sisters coming together, sisters supporting sisters.
Beautiful, beautiful. You have my full backing, so that's awesome. Can't wait to see how that goes. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that. Community support connection is invaluable.
But I think if we do the I'm sorry, Travis.
No,
If we do the orientation maybe at 7, then I think that should work on Monday. Monday seems to be a good time for folks.
Perfect. So Lisa, can we put together, we've not been doing much emailing, but can we put together an email invite to the entire community? This is 21-day self-mastery. We'll do it Monday at 7 p.m. 21-day self-mastery, lose up to 21 pounds in 21 days with 21 foods. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll do Monday.
Let me ask you this question real quick. The last time I did this as a group challenge, I think Sasha kind of headed it up, and she allowed, because I've had several people ask me this question, but Sasha allowed one holiday during that entire 21 days. And so I didn't know if that's something you kind of want to, just kind of wallow around in your mind. Because I know normally on that 21 days, there is no holidays. So, I just wanted to throw that to you and let you make that decision. But that I did have some folks ask me that, will there be at any point in time during the 21 days we're allowed any holidays?
Yeah, I think what we should do is because it's about building self-discipline, and the way we used to do those it's like you're on an island and you're trying to, but what we have done is you can earn a holiday. So for example, after you get 6 perfect days, you've earned a holiday, something like that, just so that they're having to employ discipline to get it. Maybe, but no, I'm not opposed to them having a holiday at all. Not at all. That'd be great. And
I'm looking forward to it.
I think, Penny, some of them's like how we joined the book class, and I need the name of the book. So good stuff there. You got them stirred up. That's awesome. Facebook group name. Thank you for all you do, Penny.
Thank
Anybody
you for
else?
all that you do. Thank
Thank
you. And I'm so glad you look like you're feeling a little better today. And so I was concerned about you a couple of days ago. You just look like you were really in a lot of pain.
Yeah, my jaw, I'm on some stronger antibiotics now, so hopefully my ear got infected, is what they're telling me. So, but thank you. I appreciate the prayers and the support. Y'all mean the world to me and to Sasha, and to our entire Shibboleth family.
The name of the book is Forgiving What You Can't Forget by Lisa Turkhurst. And the name of the private Facebook group is Reading Reflections.
Sounds good. Y'all catch that? Reading Reflections?
Correct.
Reading Reflections. Sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Yes, it is a faith-based reading. So, there'll be scripture for us to read and to really ponder on and it kind of goes along with what you've been doing with the Battle Buddies and some of the classes about truly getting down to emotionally what does hinder us and that we haven't turned over to the Lord and to let him deal with. And I think if we all would take a big blueprint of ourselves and really search our hearts, we've all got something kind of tucked away somewhere.
Absolutely. No doubt. And we've got it tucked away, and we don't know it's there until life squeezes us. And then we can step back and look at the junk that come out of us and try to do better, or we can blame somebody else. But it's our junk. And when life squeezes us, it's really a blessing because it gets the junk out. So yeah, I love it. It's a painful process, but well worth it. Anybody else? Sandy Gray's getting squeezed. Charles Grant's getting squeezed. I love it. We got 10 ladies now and 2 guys getting squeezed in Battle Buddy. Fun times. All right. Everybody good? All hearts and minds clear? So we will do the 21-day self-mastery Monday at 7 instead of throwing it together haphazardly today. We'll do it Monday at 7 so we can try to rally the troops and get as many people in there. Yes, the book. I did show a preview of the book to some folks the other day to let them know. We had said that we would start shipping it early in June, and that is still a go. That's still a plan. I am having the final proof shipped to me. It should be arriving early next week so that we make sure that the proof, everything looks good, and we spend our money wisely. And then you should start seeing those land there in the mailbox. And I just hope people enjoy it. We haven't had something tangible like that in a while. It's been a big task, and put our heart into it and just hope people enjoy it. Thank you for purchasing it. Thank you, Lisa. Anybody else? Watch out for the diet devil. It's the weekend. It's like a roaring lion. And Connie needs the link to pay for the book. Thank you, Connie. All right, I'll close us out in a word of prayer, and y'all keep praying. I believe in good things, and we all, even the former team members, everybody wants good things for Shibboleth. And I love what Patricia said. She said, I don't follow a man, I follow a plan. And that is exactly how I believe. And we've got a good plan here because we've got a good body of people. And I just appreciate you all. All right. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Bye, everybody.